Did you just get a snake and he's a wiggly, wily little fella who just seems to want to bite you for no reason? Good news! There's a reason. Miscommunication is the reason. When you are a tiny little snake and what to them looks like some giant eldritch horror reaches down to pick them up, they're naturally going to be a little apprehensive of that. Just try to imagine that you're chilling in your living room and your bay window just gets knocked out and Godzilla reaches in and he's going to pick you up. You might be nervous. And so in this case, they're going to defend themselves in any way that they can. They're just little guys without legs or arms or a voice box, so they're just going to maybe bite at you, maybe strike at you, maybe hiss and make a big fuss out of it. But 9 out of 10 times, these animals can be tamed down. Now, it's not so much that you're taming the animal down, although that is a factor. You want to get them used to being handled. A lot of it is managing your own body language. And I'll show you what I mean first on a snake that doesn't stress too easily. We have this little banana ball python that's for sale in the rack right here. And if I'm hovering over it, like right now it's quite relaxed, it's not curled up in a ball hiding its head, but if I were to reach in and pick it up, and now of course he's not reacting because he's a little sweetheart, but he were to sort of whip his head around and take a look at me, well, that's just because he's trying to assess out what's going on. But if you're not used to picking up snakes and that makes you pull away, you're going to go, oh my, and then you're going to try go in again, and he's going to look at you and you're going to pull out and go, oh my. Now the snake doesn't know what your intentions are, and it's going to get quite nervous. So best way to do it is just to go on in, kind of get underneath them, get them scooped up. And they might be a little nervous at first, but pretty quickly they're going to realize that you don't intend to hurt them because you haven't eaten them yet. And they're going to calm right down for you. Now let's try that on some snakes that aren't so chill as this little ball python here. How about this little African house snake? Now he's not too bitey, but he's very, very small, and he's very, very young. He just hatched out not long ago. So if I go in here, he's thinking, oh shit, this isn't good for me. But I'm just going to go in. I'm just going to gently pick him up. And he might get a little bit wiggly. If he's feeling real spicy, he might even bite me. Now this is the best age to get that worked out of their system, because when they're this small, well, they can't, come on, focus camera, focus, thank you. They can't even really break skin, so they're not really going to do a great deal. And the more you do this, to a reasonable amount, you don't want to do this all day, every day, that'll be too much for them. But the more you do this, the more they're going to get used to that stimulation, and the less they're going to want to retaliate. I wish my camera would focus, that would be really, really dandy. Let's try it on something a little bit more flighty. Like, for example, where did you go? Where did you go? Oh, above where we were. Taiwan beauty snake. These guys are sort of known for being a little cantankerous. And if I reach in there, see how it's turning around and reacting to me? I'm not going to pull away from that. I'm just going to pick it up. Oh, where are we going? Let's not go in there. Now, if he gets real crazy again, he might whip around and bite me. But if he does that, it's not going to hurt me because he's just a little fella. It might hurt a little more when he's bigger, when he's 5-6 feet long. But I'm going to let that happen, and I'm not going to put them away immediately if they bite me, because they're going to learn that, hey, that works, that gets me what I want. And you don't want their tantrum to get them what they want, because the more you handle them, oh hi, the more they're going to realize that throwing a tantrum isn't going to get them where they want to go, and they're going to stop biting you eventually. But this one was a lot bitier when it came in already, just with a little bit of handling. It's down to this point, which is a great start. There we go. Let's check out some more snakes. Here's one of our Malagasy giant hognose snakes. Now, these guys aren't terribly used to people yet, but you see how she's just kind of chilling with her head out of her hide? I don't want to go in there and rip her out of her hide, because that's going to be very intrusive. That hide is a safe spot for her. So, like a dog with its kennel, I want to make sure she has somewhere she can retreat to feel safe. So if I want to interact, maybe I'll just put my hand up here. You see, she's shying away from it. But I'm not going to force myself on her. These are pretty smart snakes. I'm going to let her think about that a little bit. Maybe give me a sniff. If she thinks I'm offering food, she might bite me. Again, that's not the end of the world. But it's not exactly what I'm looking for. But now I've had a little interaction. She got my scent a little bit. I was in there, and it didn't hurt. Now she's retreated back to her hidey hole. So I'm going to leave her be. Now if she was out in the open, I might pick her up and she'd get a little bit more flighty on me. But then I'd just do what I did with the beauty snake there. Now this is Bianche. She is a caramel zebra jaguar carpet python, and when she came in, her owner said that she's a little bit on the nippy side, a little bit on the afraid side, and let's not kid ourselves. On day number 1 there, she did try to bite me quite a bit, but she was just scared from being transported and moved around. If I go in now, you see she's pulling away from me because she's not terribly used to me yet. She is reactive, and I don't want to get bit by her, but her biting me is going to hurt a heck of a lot less than me biting her. But she's doing some little tongue flicks. She sees I'm not here to hurt her, and she's pretty chill with it. She's definitely come a long ways already. You're a good girl, aren't you? Now let's crank up the difficulty a notch. This is called a hook stick. It's basically a golf club handle with a nice hook and a tapered, sanded edge on it, so it's not going to be sharp. And this can be a wonderful tool for handling, well, potentially venomous snakes, but also snakes that are a little bit huffy, that you're getting used to you and you are getting used to them. I prefer to not use these if I can help it, because they do make the snakes a little bit anxious, but sometimes I will use them. More so I use them for opening drawers when feeding ball pythons, because those guys will just spring right on out if they think food is coming. When you hold one of these, you want to sort of hold at the base of the handle and then keep the end of the handle free, because you're going to use that for leverage against your forearm so that you have good control over the hook stick. Now, in this bin here, I've got Miss Lou, and she's a Louisiana pine snake that we have had here for a few months now, and now she has a temper to her. And I'm working on getting her calmed down, but she's proving to be a challenge. So let's say hi to her and see how we go about this. Hey, baby girl. How's it going, Lou? So Lou is part of the Pituophis family of snakes. We actually have a Pituophis species native to us in BC called the basin gopher snake. She's not one of those. She's a prized American snake. But as you can see, she's none too thrilled with me. Those quick tongue flicks, that posture, and of course that really loud hiss. Pituophis snakes have a special little cartilage, sort of like a leaf in there, or a reed in their glottis that allows them to hiss extra loud. They're kind of doing a rattlesnake imitation. Now if I go in there to pick her up, she's probably going to bite me, or at least she's going to threaten to. But that's not such a big deal, because I'm bigger than her, and she's not venomous. But you see that posture? That's all body language that's telling me the longer I'm sitting here, the more nervous this poor girl is getting, because she thinks I'm going to eat her. But I'm not going to. I'm just going to try to pick her up. So let's get in beside her here. See, she's posturing, she's readjusting to where my hand is at. And since I'm a little wimp, I'm going to use my little hook stick to get her lifted up. See, there we go. She's taking a bit of a stab at it, but that's okay. There we are. You see, it's not so bad, Lou. I don't intend to hurt you. Now, sometimes snakes are also super food motivated. Right now, Miss Lou here is just defensive. But if she wanted to eat, her bites might look a little bit more confident and a little bit more holdy-on-y. Oh, where are we going? Oh, poor girl. Let's see if we can get her up with our hands now. Come here, Lou. Oh, you're okay, honey. It's all right. You're gonna be safe. That lid go. I am a bit of a pansy about getting bit, so I'm going to put that between the sharp end and her tail. I'm going to get her from her tail about 1/3 down the base of her body, and I'm going to lift her up. Now she's getting real stinky. She's musking, and I suppose that's why they're called pine snakes. It has a bit of that smell to it. But you see, now that I have her up, she's quite confused. She was hissing and huffing and being scary. There's no reason I should have picked her up. And if I did, I should be eating her by now, which I'm not. Oh, honey, you just bit yourself. You're okay. I'm going to see if I can mount my camera somewhere so I can get at this with two hands, because that tends to work a lot better. Alrighty, I've got my camera mounted with really poor lighting, super precariously on an aquarium, so hopefully this doesn't go badly. Phones are expensive, so you stay right there, device. I'll be over here. I'm going to try pick up Lou again, but now I'm going to have two hands available, so if I can hold on to her for a minute, maybe she'll calm down a little bit, and that'll be great. Hi, honey. Oh, cranky girl. I know. You're quite all right. Hmm? There she is. So she's got her tail wrapped around my hand a little bit, and automatically she feels a little bit more secure that way. She's got a bit of a grip so that she doesn't feel like she's going to fall. But that tail sure is buzzing. Feels like I got a text message in my fingernail. So let's get a little bit of a closer look. And here she is, Miss Lou, the Louisiana pine snake. I don't know if she's going to face the camera. She very much seems intent on keeping one eye on me, because she doesn't trust me all that much. But you can see the longer she's in my hand, she's stretching her neck out a little bit more. Those tongue flicks are getting a little bit more curious, and slowly but surely, she's getting more comfortable with the idea of being picked up, and she's realizing that it's not the end of the world. Now if I try bring another hand under here, she's probably going to bite it. But then she's going to learn that that doesn't do anything. It doesn't hurt me, and I'm not going to hurt her for doing it. There we go, Miss Lou. See? I'm not going to eat you. The viewers aren't going to eat you. You're safe, honey girl. Now this is about as far as I've come with Lou so far. If I start trying to take more liberties and getting more handsy with her, she will get riled up again. She will try and bite me again. And I'm not a fan of getting bit. It's not going to kill me, obviously, but, you know, there's other things I'd rather do. Oh, there we go. I guess I got a little too close for her comfort there. See? She's such a handsome girl who's now going at the camera. Don't go at the camera, you'll knock it down, honey bun. Oh, now she's seeing my hand. That's about as close as she's come to my hand without biting it, so this is progress. Now if I do this for 10-15 minutes a day, Lou will be a real placid chill. She'll act just like that ball python in no time. I mean, she'll always be a little bit more wiggly because she's a pine snake. But she knows I'm not a threat. And if I do this consistently, when I open her enclosure, she'll know right away that I'm not a threat. And then we'll have a great old relationship. Isn't that right, honey bun? Hey, you want to go back now? I'll put you back. I'll leave you alone. You did really good, honey. Say bye-bye to the YouTube people. Now the whole point of this video is that we do have a surrender program where people bring animals that they don't want to deal with anymore. And oftentimes the animals that come in, we get little notes with them, little ledgers, hey, this animal isn't handleable, it's really, really mean. And what it comes down to is just understanding what the animal's thinking. They're not mean, they're misunderstood, and they don't understand your intentions either. So if you make your intentions clear and you're empathetic towards what they're feeling, you can usually work past that. I do not recommend trying any of these techniques on rattlesnakes, cobras, mambas, or the such. Anyways, that's it for today's video. Perhaps in another video we'll go over food-motivated snakes and how to pick those guys up. I tried to shoehorn that into this one, but none of our extra food-motivated snakes actually wanted to bite me, which I'm proud of them, but also a little disappointed, because like the one time I'm filming, but whatever, that's neither here nor there. We'll see you in the next video, guys. Thanks very much for signing in, and we'll see you in the next video. Yeah, we'll see you then. All right, bye.